Hello guys, Robot One here, coming at you with a Master Rule 5 Satellarknight deck profile. Even though we're in this time where Yu-Gi-Oh's on a standstill and we don't know where Yu-Gi-Oh is going, we can still test decks, we can still have fun, and we can still do some deck profiles. So today I thought, why not show you guys my Satellarknight deck profile for Master Rule 5. I've been messing around with this a bit here and there, and I'm really enjoying where I'm going with this. Seeing as like Tellarknight still, like in MR5, are now able to triverr loop again. All you need is 2 trivers. And we're able to do a lot more now thanks to MR5. So I felt like, why not mess with Tellarknights again, see what we can do with them, and I feel like I've come up with a build that is still really fun, seeing as Tellarknights are one of the best control decks in the game overall, in my opinion, so I've been messing with them and still enjoying them, so we're going to go ahead and show you this MR5 ready Satellarknight deck profile, and I hope you guys will all enjoy. So, let's get into the deck profile so you guys can see what we're playing and you guys can get a feel for what we're doing. So, starting off, we play free Deneb. He searches any Tellarknight in the deck, and he's the one you want to open, so you have to play him at free. I don't really need to go into any detail, but thanks to the new Master Rule, we can also, if we get this in the TCG, EU, or NA, or whatever, not NA, then if you, just to let you all know, if you MST a Call of the Haunted, and this is, if you chainlink 1 MST a set Call of the Haunted, chainlink 2 Call of the Haunted, summon back Deneb, if we get the new Master Rules, Deneb doesn't trigger, just like in the America. So for all of you out there, let's hope we don't get those that Master Rule change, because that would be really annoying. But yeah, so you need to play triple Deneb. He searches any Tellarknight. Triple Altair. He summons Deneb back from the graveyard, and also any other Tellarknight. You need to be playing 3 of him as well, because he's very, very important in the deck, where he will just keep giving you more resources back, and he just gives you more advantage by you playing 3 of him. We also do play 3 Satellarknight Unkalahalahai, because Unkalahalahai says send Deneb to the graveyard, and then Call the Haunted, or if we have Altair, summons back Deneb, giving us more advantage in the game. Very good. Plus he's your biggest beater, so you kind of need to play him for that reason as well. We also do play 2 Satellarknight Vega. She gives you 3 summons from the hand, giving you turn 1 plays at times, while also giving you access to other Satellarknight plays in the long run. I would not consider playing 1 of this card. I would say 2 is the better number, just because if you kind of want to open her at times when you don't have a decent hand and you're up against a deck that you kind of need to beat with this card. So playing 2 of her is much better than playing 1, in my personal opinion. And then the people who play 1, they're not wrong to play 1, because she can be kind of bricky at times. But I just prefer playing 2, because if I see her and it's a Tellarknight, it means that I can make triverr turn, it means that I can make triverr, I can make any rank 4 play that I want, so I feel like playing 2 is better than playing 1. And the last monster we're playing is 1 Satellarknight Alsham, because, hey, time on the round. 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. Oh, sick, you're nearly dead. Summon Alsham from the grave, 1,000. Burning people to death with this card is just so much fun, guys. Like, honestly, it feels so good. It feels so good. But those are all the monsters. We're playing 12 monsters in the main deck. I feel like you don't really need to be playing any other Satellarknight monsters. Like, these are all you really need, personally. Like, you could even cut Alsham if you feel like you don't care about the 1,000 burn damage, but I feel like everything else is necessary in the Satellarknight deck, and I just like Alsham overall. For spells, though, we're playing triple Pot of Desires. I was playing Pot of Duality, but in testing, I felt like Pot of Duality wasn't really necessary anymore. Seeing as you want to be able to special summon all the time if you open stuff like Vega and if you have Altair in hand. So Duality just becomes a dead card. And if you draw a Pot of Desires, sure, you're banishing 10 cards in your deck, but majority of the cards in your deck, as long as you don't hit like the free Altair, or the free Denebs, you're not going to care what else you banish, because if you hit the Unks, you're not really going to care. If you hit the Vegas, sure, you might care a bit, but you're not really going to give a damn. And if you hit the Alsham, sure, you can't burn them to death, but as long as it's not time on the round, you're not really going to care. So I felt like Pot of Desires was just a lot better in the deck, and as long as you don't hit all 3 Altairs, and as long as you don't hit all 3 Denebs, this card is absolutely insane. So I feel like this in Tellarknights is a lot better than Pot of Duality right now. Plus, drawing 2 can just bring you back out of from the brink of death, which is really nice. We do play 1 Rotor as well, because it says search any warrior from the deck. 1 Foolish Burial to send Deneb to the deck if we have Altair in hand. or Aosham to do some burn damage, and one Raigeki, because Raigeki is actually becoming a lot better again, where there are a lot less decks in the game that have self-protection on their monsters, so I felt like playing Raigeki actually is a very good card in this format, and seeing as there's just so little decks now that actually have built-in protection, outside of like maybe Salamangreats and Orcust, that Raigeki just becomes so much better now, and it's just really strong. Like if you're playing against something like Heroes, if you're playing against something like Shadows, if you're playing against anything that doesn't have inbuilt protection, Raigeki just clears their board and you're fine. Like even against Spiral, if your opponent hasn't made the Nightmare Cerberus and you activate Raigeki, sure they keep their sleeper, but they lose their Appaloosa, they lose their Trigate if they've negated something else. Like Raigeki is just a really strong card, and I feel like it's very good for going second situations, and that's why I've chosen to play it in this deck. Those are all the spells, though. You don't really need to play a lot of spells in Satellarknights. For traps, though, we're playing triple Satellarknight Alpha, send a Satellarknight you control to the graveyard, negate an activation of any card, and draw a card. So, pretty much, this card says, I'm going to draw a card, and I'm also going to negate your stuff. So, Solemn Judgment and draw, pretty good. We also play triple Solemn Judgment, Solemn Judgment just being Alpha, but it's free. Well, it's not free, it's half your life points, but you don't really care about the paying half your life points, so this is just very strong there. Triple Solemn Strike, because I really just don't want to let my opponent play the game. Solemn Strike says negate your summon, and Monster Effect really did good. Triple Compulsory Evacuation Device. Now, I've been on and off with Compulse. I've been like, oh, I really do like it, oh, I really don't like it. I'd rather play maybe Crackdown, or I don't want to play Crackdown. But continuously playing with this card, there's so many decks out there that rely on just that one summon to the board from like an extra deck summon or anything along those lines, and I feel like Compulse is just like pretty much it's another form of Solemn Strike, so I felt like playing the playing Compulse was just really good, and in testing it's been going very well, so I've been thinking more and more this is probably better than cards like Crackdown, because if they MST or get rid of the Crackdown, then they get the monster back, but this just says, oh no, the monster's gone now, you can't use it. It goes back to the extra deck, it goes back to the hand, if you can't summon it again, well, tough luck, you can't play the game. So I've been feeling more and more that Compulse has just been very strong for me, and I personally feel like it is probably the better option out of the majority of the cards. But for other cards, we do play triple Call Haunted and one Oasis of Dragon Souls. Just having ways to revive any of your Tellarknights is really good. Plus, with these cards, you want to be playing these over cards like back to the front line and stuff, because triverr just returns them to your hand, so you get more advantage from that. Just being able to continuously revive anything you want. We also do play triple Impermanence just because it's a trap card and a hand trap, being very good there, seeing as if we activate it, oh, we look at our opponent, hey, you now can't, you're not monster effects now negated, have fun with that, you can't call by this, haha, feels pretty good. We're also playing double evenly matched, because, like, it's the same logic with Raigeki. Sure, it's more useful than Raigeki at times, but the difference with evenly matched is you give up your battle phase, so that can be kind of a hindrance on you as well, but it can clear a lot more, and this is mainly for back row based decks, where I feel like it would be more necessary in the long run. So I felt like 2 evenly in the main was just very good as well, along with the 1 Raigeki, because if you have both evenly and Raigeki, then you're most likely going to win that game. And the last card we're playing is 1 Imperial Order for any spell-based decks to kind of prevent them from playing the game. Alright, but that's the main deck. I feel like the main deck is very strong, especially against monster-based decks. Like, if I was to play, like, a side deck with this as well, I'll probably side, like, Trap Trick with D-Barriers and Heavy Storm Dusters, because, like, there's so many things you can side out in this, and, like, for instance, you can side out the Solemn Strikes and stuff to put in, like, the Trap Tricks, you can side out all the Solemns, and then you have access to, like, D-Barriers, you have access to Heavy Storm Dusters for back row decks. Like, I feel like this deck is just really strong on that front, so I feel like there's just so much you can actually do with it in the main deck as well. Like, if you wanted to go more against a back row deck, you can change it for that. If you wanted to go more against a monster deck, go for that. But I've obviously built this towards more as a monster focused deck, because I'm playing stuff like Compulse, I'm playing stuff like the Solemns, Solemn Strike, Raigeki, so there are things that you can change, but this is just the build that I'm personally very happy with right now. But let's go into the extra deck so you guys can see what we're playing in the extra deck. So for starters, we play triple Satellarknight triverr. Triverr being the best one, seeing as it says when it's summoned, return all monsters on the board to the all cards on the board to the hand, and also you can detach material to send one random card from our opponent's hand to the graveyard, which is really nice. And also if he has a material and it's sent to the graveyard, you get to summon a Satellarknight from your graveyard. So 3 very strong effects. You're obviously playing multiples because you want a triverr loop where you literally make triverr, return everything on board, make another triverr, return triverr on board. So then next turn you literally just go in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. You shake it all about. Yeah, you play 3 triverr because of that, and you just want to make sure you can always triverr loop. So playing 3 is the optimal number in that fact. You also play 1 Satellarknight Deltaros because Deltaros, he's good as well, but you don't really need to play multiples him because what he basically does is he's a free destruction, and also when you summon a monster, your opponent can't change the sum of that card. And if it's sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a Satellarknight monster from your hand or deck. So there's times where you summon this just so you can summon Deneb from your deck, but there's also times where you just want to get rid of something which is in your way. So Deltaros has its perks, but it's really on personal opinion. We're playing 2 Dark Tellarknight Batalimius because she says, oh, I can make triverr with 2 materials. Simple as that. No big regrets on that. 1 Satellarknight Constellar Diamond because it really does say Shadows can't play the game. If you've got that Shadow Infusion in hand, well, you can't use it because we've got the because we've got the diamond on board. You can't use dark effects because I'll detach and negate said dark effects. It's just a very strong card and really does do a lot in Tallarknights, especially against any dark deck. Burning Abyss, Shadow, Orcus. Like, this card is just very strong and will really just destroy any of those decks. So, very good card in general. For other Xyzs, though, we play 1 Garga Cowboy for time, 1 Abyss Dweller for graveyard decks, 1 Exciton Knight to nuke the board, 1 Prime Mathmech Laplacian, because it's basically a Trishula for Xyz decks, and seeing as you make 3 level 4 monsters very easily in this deck, hell, it's not that hard to make. We also play 1 Prime Mathmech Albertian, because if you can get 4 on him, which isn't hard in this deck, as I said, you're able to search any spell or trap card from your deck. So you could search like Imperial Order, you could search the Impermanence to negate something, you could search Call of the Haunted to revive your stuff, you could search literally any of your like Pot of Desires, or if you wanted to detach free, you could just search any monster in your deck, which you probably wouldn't be doing because you've already gotten access to your engine at that point, but being able to search any card, spell or trap card from your deck is very strong. Plus, with this card, I plan to side like other Floodgate cards as well, such as Summon Limit, Anti-Spell Fragrance, and stuff like that to go along with this. So it's just very strong in that factor as well, and I really do like how this card works. But we also play 1 Castel just to be dealing with any things that we can target and get rid of. 1 Babushka because, hey, you've got a monster effect deck, well, I'm summoning Babushka in defense mode and watching you suffer. And finally 1 Tornado Dragon for back row based decks. But that is the deck overall, guys. This is like the Tallarknight build that I'm testing most, and I'm really enjoying playing, having fun with it, and I really do like the deck overall. But guys, tell me what you think of my Master Rule 5 Tallarknight deck profile. Tell me your thoughts in the comments section below. Do you like it? Do you think it's bad? Do you think there can be any improvements? Tell me all that in the comments section below. I always love to hear your thoughts and opinions to maybe improve my decks, make them better. Go ahead, check out the description as well to see any links, such as my Twitch, where I do gaming streams on Tuesdays. If you want to support me, links down there as well to help support me. Any money that I get will go back into the channel. I don't really like to ask for money, but hey, we're in tough times and I could really use the help. And also don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to show your support and help me through that as well, because that also helps along the way too. But guys, that's the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Royal Bat 1, signing out. I hope to see you in Master Rule 5.